Well, it has to be fun grabbing a fascinating story.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes truth is, or maybe often truth is more outrageous than anything you can make up. But also, I think my films I've always been drawn to the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, even, I was doing Born Identity, which is, completely fictitious. It was based on a novel. Mm-hmm. I actually was drawing real life details from my father's work investigating Iran-Contra for how to portray the CIA, and it's giving the CIA real limitations.
Yeah.
And here I am back at the same well.
How did that help you on this, though?
Well, because it's like the limitations of a small airplane. I mean, people think airplanes can just, point up the sky and go anywhere. And I really wanted to do car chases with airplanes. And if you look at my films, look at the car chases in Bourne, Jason Bourne's always in crappy cars. He's not in, you want to think about the limitations of the car. And that, right. I think that makes the sequences more exciting. So when I think about the limitations of an airplane and limitations of an airplane that is overloaded with guns, mm-hmm. That he's flying for the CIA, and it's heavy. And I feel like you get a more exciting, because I was doing car chases with airplanes. They're more exciting if you understand what the airplane cannot do.
Right. And I think it plays on a person's fear of flying as well. When you see Tom Cruise trying to get down that runway and you're not sure whether or not it's going to happen.
An audience has probably never heard a stall warning horn before.
Right.
But it's something pilots know, know.
Or that tip of the wing, too. That's the other part. It's like watching that go, ugh. Yeah.
But Barry Seal really was an incredible pilot. I mean, it's why he lived as long as he lived, given the kind of flying he was doing. He really could get in and out of crazy airstrips or streets. I mean, they didn't care what they landed the airplane on. I mean, it's incredible about the kind of flying that Barry Seal was doing, is that the airplane was disposable. And so as a filmmaker, I got to do action sequences with airplanes that you'd never seen before, because there's no other situation where the airplane would be disposable, other than the kind of flying that's portrayed in American Made.
And how did you do that? Those are essentially period airplanes. I mean, that's from several years ago. How did you get all of those?
Well, the truth about flying is people still fly old airplanes. People tend not to keep old cars, but airplanes are constantly maintained. And if you go to any airport and look where the small airplanes are, you'll see airplanes twice as old as the airplanes in American Made. So we found one that was or several that were were in good shape, and then mechanics came in and rebuilt the engines and kept them at tip-top shape. But it's not unusual to fly a 20, 30-year-old airplane.
Now, you've worked with Tom Cruise before, and you're working with him again, and you've got more coming with him.
Yeah.
Talk about the experience of working with him. He just seems to be able to take on anything.
He's really fearless, Tom Cruise. I mean, it's not just in the flying and the stunts. I mean, everybody knows about the Tom Cruise stuntman, but the fact that he is willing to jump into a role like Barry Seal that kind of is the anti-Tom Cruise brand, and he was willing to do that with me on Edge of Tomorrow, and when I didn't know, I'd never worked with him before, and I was a little nervously saying, I was thinking of making your character a coward, like all the way through the movie. Like making that like the defining feature of your character, and a lot of movie stars would be like, no, I'm a movie star. I'm not a coward. And Tom loved that idea. In fact, he just chased it. And the other thing about Tom is that he's the kind of person who, like, I was directing him in a scene in American Made, and it wasn't working right, and I was trying to figure out how to say that to him, but be positive. And I said, Tom, that scene, it's just not. You were, and he said, I was terrible? I go, yeah, you were terrible. You were. And he goes, yeah, I knew it. He's like, let's try again. And that you can tell him when something he's doing is terrible.
Yeah.
That's a great partner to have when you're making a movie, when you can be that honest with each other.
Yeah, that's collaboration right there.
Yeah.
Now, you're also asking him to drop his pants several times in the movie. We get to see
again, you don't know when you say to Tom Cruise,
backside.
you're like, Barry Seal really did moon the camera with all this home video footage of him. I was like, I don't know when you say to Tom Cruise, like, how do you feel about mooning the camera? Because that is the most un-Tom Cruise thing you could possibly imagine. And he's fearless about just going for it and being like, okay, I've never done that before. Let's do it.
Hopefully he didn't make too much of a habit for you.
Yeah.
Great. Good to see you, man.
Thanks.